the opportunities and distractions that come with attending higher education for the first time, it's tempting to lose sight of why you ultimately came to school in the first place, which is to focus on academic progression for future success in the workplace. We asked some students how the pressure of academic achievement and studying impacted their mental health, and if they had any tips or advice for future students wanting to succeed academically.
Para venir de una cultura de un país a otra cultura diferente es un choque grande. También a nivel académico, también. No es que la educación vamos a decir en general, de Latinoamérica sea mala, pero es muy diferente. Aquí por lo menos te exigen más cosas, tienes que sacar más notas. Cuando veía que no sacaba, no sé, la suficiente nota o por más que me esforzaba no lograba alcanzar mis objetivos, pues sí, me frustraba mucho. Y no sé, a nivel general yo pienso que, claro, es bueno sacar notas altas y eso, pero a veces por más que te esfuerces en estudiar o por más que estudies y no sacas, a veces es un poco decepcionante. Hasta tú misma lo reconoces y también te puedes estresar mucho. Cuando veo que me estreso mucho, que ya no puedo más, pues me aparto un rato. Si puedo salgo a caminar, a dar un paseo, o me pongo a ver videos de risa, o escucho a monologuistas, comediantes y eso.
The academic challenges that we faced is just deadlines and, as I said before, about the 3-day week and about having to work around that and like understanding that like usually my days off I'm doing an 8 to 12 hour shift teaching or lifeguarding, so I have to do the work in here or else I'm risking not going to get done outside of it because I'm not really going to spend my weekend doing it. But it is really, we've got some really big, like, our dissertation this year, and we've got what we're doing now, which is like creating productions and stuff, and like doing stuff like sound and stuff for the performing arts ones and stuff. We're always doing something different every week. It might be an advancement in what we've done the previous week, but it's something completely different, and that's what made me fall in love with the course in the first place at the same time. But it can be very stressful, especially if you haven't fully picked up what we've done the week before. Like, I would cope with most of the deadline stuff by getting the work done, I would hope. But then other stuff, just like just being burnt out or feeling like really stressed out or tired, especially with stuff to do with like doing sound and stuff for other classes and everything like that. I would just always have something to look forward to, especially now that restrictions have been lifted. I've tried to go out at least once every month to try to do something with my girlfriend, try to do something with my family, or even meet up with the guys and from the class to do stupid stuff like play Dungeons and Dragons, or even just go around to the studio to jam and stuff like that. Because we very rarely would have done that over COVID, but ever since everything's been lifted, we've kind of all got back in the groove of things, if you pardon the pun there.
I think sometimes, because English is not my first language, so I genuinely had to go back sometimes to understand the meanings of some of the terminologies used in our textbooks, or even the ways, like I remember in fourth year actually, it's when we were doing social justice. The terminology in social justice is not regular English that I'd be out here trying to speak. Like even pronouncing some of the words such as utilitarianism, as you can tell. I was like, what is she saying? You know? But then Google is so great. So as a way to challenge myself, I was like, let's put it on Google, learning how to pronounce it. But to also add supports to those challenges, we have the Student Learning Center within the Institute. And I remember telling them, I don't think I can write academically, but they always have workshops that teach students how to write academically, how to reference properly, you know, how to do the things, like even to create Word documents. For semester 1 of year 4, we had to do literature reviews, and it had to look a certain way. I didn't know how to do documents, and you're lining it up and adding the table of contents. But the Student Learning Support Services is great. Just send them an email, you book your time slot, and the woman just runs through with. And when she's running through, she's not doing it for you. You're sitting on the laptop or the computer, and she's just telling you where to click, and she even gives you a printout of what you've just done. So those are the things that I found challenging, but thankfully the supports were really, really good. So I never felt like I won't be able to be like the rest of the students that would have known how to put a table of contents in a document.
The first term I was a wee bit stressed about getting the coursework in, and last year I got all distinctions, so I was trying to keep that up for this year because I want to go on and do my nursing, and to get into Ulster I would need a full distinction, so I was worrying this term about ensuring that my work was as high a standard as it would normally be while trying to juggle work in between, but I managed really well and my teachers were really supportive. Whenever I got my results back I was really pleased with myself, and it gave me a bit of a push for this term to keep going, because I didn't think I did as well as I did do, so it was like a real boost for me.
A veces sí me ha generado un poco de ansiedad, un poco de estrés, pero como tampoco me suelo preocupar mucho por sacar siempre la mejor nota, sino por tener un balance entre estudiar mucho, trabajar mucho y también tomar mi tiempo libre, no me estreso mucho para cuando tengo que sacar una nota. Cuando quiero sacarla sí, pero cuando tengo que sacarla simplemente no me estreso mucho, no me genera mucho estrés. A veces sí, pero no, por lo general no. Después de los años sí, al principio cuando eres más pequeño cuando suspendes sí te afecta más, o cuando no sacas la nota que quieres sí te afecta más, pero luego de mayor aprendes un poco a convivir con ello. Sí, poco a poco he ido, sí, mi propio bienestar.
So academic challenges, then we have students who wish to gain higher grades than maybe they're capable of, and that can be a struggle. So there's a lot of extra tuition and mentoring to ensure that people meet their potential, but also the fact that they accept that maybe their potential is not a distinction, it could be a merit or a pass, and that we would provide intense and robust careers advice, all the exit areas that they could go, where you could go with a pass, a merit and a distinction into employment, or further up, or come back to us and do a higher level qualification.